Liam was a pilot for a human cargo ship. His job was to carry goods between Earth and different space colonies. He was used to long trips and small problems, but today, something went wrong. While passing near an unknown star system, his ship's engine suddenly failed. The controls went wild, and he had no choice but to crash land on a strange planet. The planet looked strange and quiet. The sky was a deep blue-green, and the ground was covered in soft violet grass. Liam's ship was badly damaged. He hurt his arm in the crash, but was still alive. He checked the ship's communicator, but it was broken. No one knew where he was. As Liam looked around, he saw figures moving in the distance. They were tall, thin, and had blue skin. Their eyes were large and shiny, and their ears were small and pointed. They wore clean white suits with glowing symbols. They came closer quickly but carefully. Liam raised his hands to show he was not dangerous. The aliens stopped and looked at him with interest. One of them stepped forward. She was shorter than the others and had soft eyes that showed kindness. She spoke in a calm voice. "You are human," she said. "You are hurt. Come with us." "We will help you," Liam nodded slowly. He was tired and did not want to fight. The alien, whose name he would soon learn was Varel, gently helped him to his feet. They walked to a nearby building that looked like a large glass dome. Inside, it was warm and clean. Liam was given medical care. His arm was wrapped carefully. The pain slowly went away. While resting, he watched Varel and the other scientists work. They wore strange devices on their wrists and used small machines to scan plants and animals. Varel was curious about Liam. She watched his movements and took notes. She asked questions about Earth and humans. Liam answered as best as he could. He was surprised that they knew so little about people from his planet. Later, Varel spoke to the other scientists in their own language. They talked quietly but with excitement. Varel wanted permission to study Liam more closely. She was fascinated by human biology, especially how human males worked. The group's leader, a tall and serious alien, looked at Liam carefully. "He is a volunteer?" "The leader?" asked Varel. "Yes," Varel replied. "He agreed to help us learn. It may build trust between our peoples." The leader nodded slowly. "Very well, but be careful. We must respect him." Liam heard this and felt hope. He wanted to help. Humans had long been strangers to many alien races. Maybe this was a chance to show kindness and learn. The next day, Varel came to Liam's room with a small tablet and a scanner. "We will start simple tests," she said. "Nothing will hurt you, I promise." Liam smiled weakly. "Okay, let's do it." Varel first scanned Liam's hand. She moved the scanner over his fingers and palm. The screen showed colors and shapes he could not understand. She explained, "Your skin has special layers. We can learn how your body heals and protects itself." Then she checked his heart rate and breathing. "Your heart beats slower when you rest," she said. "Different from our species." Liam tried to explain human emotions and reactions. "When I get scared, my heart beats faster. When I'm calm, it slows down." Varel looked very interested. "Emotions change your body. We must study this more." While doing the tests, Varel asked many questions. "Do human males have different strength than females? How do you recover after injury? What is the role of your arm muscles?" Liam answered honestly. "Males and females are different, yes, but both can be strong. We work together to survive." Varel nodded and wrote everything down. During one test, Liam stretched his hand, and Varel noticed how the muscles moved. "Your muscles work like small machines," she said. "Very efficient?" "Do your muscles tense or do other changes happen?" Liam thought for a moment. "Yes, sometimes. When I am nervous, my heart beats faster and I might sweat. Sometimes I feel weak or shaky." Varel made quick notes. "Is this a common human reaction?" "Yes, very common," Liam said. Varel looked a little awkward. "It is different from our species. We do not show feelings physically in the same way." They laughed softly together. Liam found Varel's scientific mind both strange and endearing, but not all questions were easy. At one point, Varel asked about human touch and its meaning. Is touch always a signal of friendship or trust in your culture? Liam nodded. Yes, mostly. But sometimes it means other things, like greeting, comfort, or agreement. Varel looked puzzled. So, one touch can mean many things? Exactly, Liam said. It depends on the situation and people. This confused Varel. In our species, touch is very rare. Usually only in mating or family. We do not touch strangers. Liam smiled. Humans are more open. We use touch to connect. As the day went on, Liam and Varel began to understand each other more. They shared stories about their worlds, their lives, and their hopes. Liam talked about Earth's blue oceans and green forests. Varel told stories of her icy homeworld and its tall crystal cities. Their differences felt big, but their friendship grew. Near the end of the day, Varel prepared for one last test. She asked Liam to hold a small device in his hand. It was shaped like a bracelet with tiny sensors. This will measure your muscle response when you relax and when you contract. She explained. Liam did as told. The machine hummed softly and lights blinked. Varel's eyes lit up. Amazing. Your muscles work with electricity and chemical signals. The complexity is higher than we thought. Liam laughed. Our bodies are full of surprises. Just before Varel left, she looked at Liam with curiosity. Do you think humans can trust aliens like us easily? Liam paused. It depends. Trust takes time, but kindness helps. I want to believe your people are friends. Varel smiled gently. So do I, Liam, so do I. As the door closed behind her, Liam felt a mix of hope and uncertainty. This strange planet and its gentle scientists might change everything for humans and aliens alike. Days passed since Liam's arrival on the alien planet. His arm was healing. Well, and he felt stronger each day. But the most surprising thing for him was how much time he spent talking to Varel. She was not only curious about his body, but also about his thoughts and feelings. One afternoon, Varel entered Liam's room carrying a small device. It looked like a thin band, but with many tiny lights. Today, Liam, she said, we will study how your emotions affect your body. Emotions are important in your species, yes? Liam nodded. Yes, humans feel many emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, love. They change how we act and even how our bodies respond. Varel sat beside him. We want to understand these feelings as data. Can you help me? I will try, Liam smiled. Varel placed the band on Liam's wrist. The device softly hummed and began measuring his pulse, temperature, and skin responses. She explained. We will ask questions and watch how your body changes. The first questions were simple. Varel asked about his family, his home, and his favorite memories. Liam smiled warmly as he talked about his younger sister and his childhood in a small town on Earth. As he spoke, Varel watched the screen. Your heart rate is steady when you talk about happy memories, she noted, and your skin temperature rises slightly. Yes, Liam agreed. Good memories make us feel warm and safe. Then Varel asked about sad moments. Liam hesitated, but shared a story about losing a close friend in an accident. His voice softened and his eyes looked distant. Varel saw the pulse quicken and the skin cool down. Interesting, she whispered. Your body reacts strongly to sadness, Liam nodded. Emotions can be very powerful. The study continued. Varel asked about fear. Liam told her about a dangerous storm on Earth. His body tensed as he remembered the danger. Varel observed his breathing becoming shallow. Your body prepares to react, she said. Fight or flight. Yes, Liam said. It helps us survive. But what surprised Varel most was when she asked about trust. Liam smiled gently and spoke about friendships, about how people show trust by sharing secrets or helping each other. Trust is not only feelings, he said, but actions. Varel took careful notes. This is new data for us. Trust as action and emotion. Their conversation went deep into human feelings: hope, anger, jealousy, and love. Liam tried to explain how these emotions influenced human choices and behaviors. Varel listened with wide eyes. To think your species carries such complex feelings with them all the time, Liam smiled. It is part of being human. One moment stood out for both of them. Liam told Varel about the meaning of a hug on Earth. It is a way to show care and comfort, he said. It is like saying you are not alone. Varel seemed to pause, thinking. We do not hug, she said quietly. Touch is reserved for family only. Liam nodded. Humans use touch to connect, to show feelings when words are not enough. For the first time, Varel looked at Liam differently. She saw not just a subject for study, but a person with feelings as rich and varied as her own. Later, Varel spoke with the other scientists. Emotions affect human biology deeply, she told them. We must consider these feelings if we want to understand them fully. One older scientist asked, but does this not make research harder? Emotions are unpredictable, Varel smiled. Maybe, but they are part of the data. We cannot ignore what makes humans who they are. Back in her lab, Varel worked late into the night, reviewing all the notes and data she had gathered. She felt a new excitement. This was more than science. It was discovery of life itself. Meanwhile, Liam thought often about Varel's questions. He felt essay, found the alien planet, but he missed Earth and the people he loved. Yet talking about his feelings helped him heal more than any medicine. One evening, Varel visited Liam again. She brought a small book filled with pictures and stories from her planet. Liam looked at the images of tall towers, bright skies, and strange creatures. I want to show you my world, Varel said softly, and I want to tell you more about mine, Liam replied. Their conversations grew longer and more personal. Liam shared dreams of flying free in Earth's open skies. Varel told of her hopes for peaceful relations between their species. In these moments, the line between scientist and subject blurred. They were two beings learning about each other and themselves. Varel realized that her research was not only about biology or data. It was about connection, something no machine could measure completely. The next day, Varel presented her new idea to the scientists. If we study emotions as part of biology, we may find ways to build trust and peace with humans. The group nodded slowly. This is a new path, the leader said. We must be careful but hopeful. Liam smiled when he heard this. He felt proud to be part of something greater than himself. As the sun set over the violet grass, Liam and Varel sat outside the dome. The stars above were strange but beautiful. They knew many challenges lay ahead, but they faced them together, scientist and human, teacher and learner, friends. Days turned into weeks as Liam's recovery progressed. The initial curiosity between him and Varel blossomed into something deeper, a quiet friendship built on respect and understanding. They spent hours together discussing not only science but also stories of their worlds and dreams. However, their closeness did not go unnoticed. One morning, Liam was surprised when Varel arrived earlier than usual. She held a small device in her hands and wore a thoughtful expression. Liam, she said softly, today I want to try something new. It is a test of trust. Will you help me? Liam smiled. Of course, what do you want me to do? Varel explained that she wanted to see how humans reacted to exercises that required trust and cooperation. We will do simple activities, she said. Nothing dangerous. Just to observe your reactions. Liam agreed without hesitation. The first exercise was simple. Varel blindfolded Liam and guided him through a short path inside the dome. Liam had to trust her voice and directions to avoid obstacles. At first, Liam felt unsure. The darkness made his heart race. But Varel's calm voice helped him focus. Step left. Now step right, slow down. Liam moved carefully, feeling the soft floor beneath his feet. When he reached the end, Varel removed the blindfold, and Liam smiled. I did it. Varel's eyes sparkled. Good, this shows trust between us. Next, Varel asked Liam to hold her hand as she led him through more complex tasks. They climbed low steps, balanced on narrow beams, and solved puzzles that required teamwork. With each challenge, Liam learned to rely on Varel's guidance. Varel, in turn, observed his reactions, the way his muscles relaxed or tensed, how his breathing changed. The other scientists watched quietly from a control room behind a glass wall. Some seemed concerned. She is crossing boundaries, one said. This is no longer just research. The leader of the group frowned. Protocols exist for a reason. Emotions can cloud judgment. But Varel shook her head. I am not abandoning science. I am learning what machines cannot measure. Trust and connection. Back inside the dome, Liam noticed a shift too. Their relationship felt less formal. They laughed more easily. When Varel squeezed his hand after a successful task, Liam felt warmth spread through him. At one point, Liam joked, "You're a tough teacher, Varel." "But I like it," she smiled shyly. "And you are a patient student?" After the exercises, they sat quietly, catching their breath. Liam looked at Varel. "Do you ever miss your home?" Varel nodded slowly. "Yes, sometimes the loneliness is hard, but meeting you, it makes this place feel less cold." Liam reached out, lightly touching her hand. "I feel the same." Just then, the door to the dome opened. The leader and two other scientists entered. "Varel," the leader said sternly, "we must discuss your work." "You have gone beyond authorized limits." Varel stood, composed but firm. "My research requires honesty and openness." "I believe this is the path to understanding." The leader's gaze hardened. "But mixing emotions with science is dangerous. It risks the project." "And you," Liam stepped forward. "I am not a subject. I am a person. Varel's care helped me heal. Faster, trust made me stronger." The leader studied Liam's steady eyes. After a long pause, he said, "Very well, but be warned. Any further breaches will have consequences." Varel bowed her head. "Understood." After they left, Liam turned to Varel. "You took a risk?" "For me," she smiled softly, "you are worth it." In the days that followed, Varel continued the trust exercises but kept careful to stay within the rules. She and Liam spent time outside the lab too, walking near the violet grass fields under alien skies. One afternoon, Liam asked, "Do your people ever form bonds like this, between strangers?" Varel thought for a moment. "Rarely. We value logic over emotion. Bonds come mostly through family or long history, but can they grow faster when people choose to trust?" "Yes," she said quietly, "your species teaches us much." Their friendship grew in small but meaningful ways. Liam taught Varel some human games that involved cooperation and communication. Varel showed Liam holographic images of her homeworlds, cities, and natural wonders. They laughed, shared stories, and learned from each other. The lab felt less like a place of study and more like a home. One evening, as the stars blinked overhead, Liam spoke carefully. "Varel, do you think science can explain everything about humans?" She looked at him with a gentle smile. "No, Liam, some things like trust and love go beyond data. They live in the heart." Liam nodded. "I never expected to find this here on a distant planet." Varel reached out again, holding his hand warmly. "Neither did I." But as their bond deepened, challenges waited ahead. The Alien Council was watching closely, and not all were pleased with Varel's approach. Still, Liam and Varel faced the future together, ready to prove that understanding and friendship could cross even the widest divides. The peaceful rhythm of the research lab was broken one morning by the arrival of a large delegation. The Zyran Ethics Board had come from the capital city. They were here to review the project and especially the work of Varel and Liam. The Ethics Board was a group of senior officials who made sure all scientific work followed strict rules. Their faces were serious and their eyes held the weight of responsibility. They did not smile or speak casually. Liam and Varel both felt the tension. The leader of the board, a tall Zyran with silver hair and sharp eyes, spoke first. "We have heard of your progress, Varel, but also of concerns. Tell us, how do you explain the close bond you have formed with your human subject?" Varel stood tall. "Our work requires trust. Liam's cooperation depends on understanding. Both his body and his mind. Emotions affect biology. Ignoring them would limit our knowledge." The board members exchanged glances. One elder asked, "But have you not broken protocol?" "Mixing personal feelings with scientific study can bias results." Liam stepped forward, surprising even himself. I speak as a human, not a subject. Varel's care saved me. Without her trust, I would not have shared so much. This bond is real, but it is also part of the research. The board leader's gaze shifted to Liam. You speak with conviction. But are you prepared for the consequences if this relationship is seen as improper? Liam nodded. I am willing to face them. The board left Liam and Varel alone for a moment. Varel whispered, This is more serious than I thought. Liam reached out and squeezed her hand. We will face it together. After a long discussion, the ethics board returned with their decision. Your project will continue, but under stricter supervision, the leader announced. Any further breaches of protocol will result in immediate suspension. Varel bowed respectfully. I accept the conditions. The board then announced that Liam would be returned to Earth soon. Your presence here is valuable, but your species must make its own choices. The project's future depends on collaboration, not captivity. Liam's heart sank. He had grown used to this strange world and to Varel. The thought of leaving felt like losing a part of himself. That evening, Liam and Varel sat beneath the glowing sky. The violet grass brushed their legs as they talked. Quietly, do you want to stay? Varel asked softly. Liam looked at the stars. I do, but I understand why I must go. Varel's eyes shimmered. You have changed everything here. Your presence opened new doors. Liam smiled sadly. Maybe this is not the end. Maybe it is just the beginning. The next days were busy with preparations. Liam packed his few belongings and Varel organized her data. But their thoughts were elsewhere. One afternoon, Liam found Varel in the lab, staring at the stars through the dome's glass. Varel, he said gently, thank you for everything. She turned, eyes shining with emotion. And thank you, Liam, you taught me more than science. Just before his departure, the scientists held a small ceremony. They honored Liam's courage and the bridge he had built between worlds. The atmosphere was quiet but full of hope. As the transport ship lifted off, Liam looked down at the purple fields fading away. He thought of Varel, of the trust they shared, and of the future. Back on Earth, Liam would tell stories of the Zyran people, of friendship across stars, and of a scientist who saw more than data. She saw a human. After Liam returned to the Zyran research station following his brief visit to Earth, the atmosphere was charged with a new energy. Varel was eager to continue their work, but this time the approach would be different. The ethics board had placed restrictions, but they had also opened a door to explore emotional connection as a key part of understanding humans. One morning, Varel entered the lab holding a small, sleek device. It was designed to create shared virtual experiences, a way for two beings to face challenges together. While monitoring their reactions, Liam, she said with a hopeful smile, today, we begin a new experiment. It will test cooperation, trust, and understanding between us. Are you ready? Liam nodded, ready as ever. They both sat in front of the device, which hummed softly as it activated. The room transformed into a vivid virtual landscape. Tall trees with silver leaves, gentle streams, and distant mountains. Varel explained, this simulation will present puzzles and tasks we must solve together. Our reactions will be recorded. The first task appeared. A deep river blocked their path. A narrow, shaky bridge was the only way across. Liam looked at Varel. We should cross one at a time? Varel nodded. I trust you will be careful. Liam stepped forward, balancing carefully. The bridge creaked but held firm. When he reached the other side, he called back, Your turn. Varel moved slowly, focusing on each step. The bridge swayed, but she kept calm. When she reached Liam, they smiled. Good teamwork, Liam said. As they continued, the tasks grew more complex. They had to find hidden symbols, solve riddles, and navigate shifting landscapes. At times, one needed to lead. Other times, they had to follow. Throughout the simulation, their heart rates, breathing, and muscle tension were monitored. The device showed how their bodies reacted to each situation and to each other. Varel watched the data carefully. Your responses change when you trust me, she said softly. Your breathing slows. Your muscles relax. Liam glanced at her. Because I do trust you, Varel. The simulation ended with a final challenge, rescuing a virtual child trapped in a cave. They worked closely, giving each other instructions and encouragement. When they succeeded, the virtual world brightened with colors and music. Varel sighed. Happily, this experiment shows more than cooperation. It shows connection, Liam smiled. It feels real, not just science. After the test, Varel shared the data with the ethics board. The results were unexpected and hopeful. Emotional connection and trust were not obstacles to research, they were bridges. The board members were cautious but intrigued. They agreed to support further study, seeing the potential for peace and understanding between species. Meanwhile, Liam and Varel's bond continued to grow outside the lab. They shared meals, stories, and quiet moments under the alien stars. One evening, Liam asked, "Do you believe humans and Xerans can truly understand each other?" Varel looked thoughtful. "Yes, not just through data or words, but through shared experience and trust," Liam nodded. "That gives me hope." Their friendship became a symbol of what could be achieved, an example that differences could be celebrated, not feared. Varel began writing a new report, one not just full of numbers and scans, but full of words that spoke of hearts and minds. She wrote, "Human biology is complex, yes, but their spirit, their emotions, their capacity for trust and kindness, this is the true discovery." As the research continued, Varel and Liam knew their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face the challenges ahead. Together, months had passed since Liam first arrived on the Xyran research planet. His time there was longer than anyone expected, not because of illness, but because of the deep bond he shared with Varel and the other scientists. Their work had grown beyond simple biology. It had become a story of connection between two very different worlds. One morning, Liam stood before the Xyran Council. The council was a group of wise elders who made important decisions for their people. Today, they were gathered to decide the future of the Human Research Project. Varel stood beside Liam, holding a thick report filled with data, observations, and most importantly, stories of trust and friendship. The council leader, a stern but fair Xeran named Tarl, addressed the room. "We have watched this project closely. Your findings are unusual, Varel. You have mixed science with something we do not often understand, emotion." Varel bowed respectfully. "Yes, respected council members. Our research shows that human biology cannot be separated from their feelings and connections. To understand humans, we must understand their hearts." Tarl looked at Liam. "And you, human, what is your view of this work?" Liam took a deep breath. "I came here as a stranger, hurt and alone, but I found friends. This project is not just science. It is a bridge between our species. I want to stay and help build that bridge." The room was silent for a moment. Then one council member spoke. "It is rare for us to see such openness between species. But if this bond leads to peace and understanding, it must be supported." Another nodded. "We approve the continuation of the project. Liam may remain as a cultural liaison and participant." Relief and joy filled Varel's heart. She glanced at Liam, whose smile was bright and genuine. After the meeting, the lab buzzed with excitement. Varel updated her logs with new notes. Human male biology is far more than muscle and bone. It is connection, trust, and hope. Liam walked with Varel outside the dome, under the strange but beautiful sky. The violet grass swayed gently in the soft wind. "Do you think humans and Xerans will become friends?" Liam asked. Varel smiled softly. "I believe this is only the beginning. There are many humans and many Xerans. If we can learn from each other, the future will be brighter." Liam nodded. "I want to be part of that future." The days that followed were filled with new projects. Varel worked on ways to share emotions more clearly. Liam helped teach Xerans about human customs and feelings. Together, they hosted small meetings where Xerans and humans could speak and learn. Walls of fear and misunderstanding slowly crumbled. One evening, as the stars glittered like diamonds, Liam and Varel sat quietly. He took her hand in his. "Thank you, Varel," he said softly, "for trusting me, for believing in us." She looked into his eyes. And thank you, Liam, for showing me that science and heart can walk together. As the alien wind whispered around them, they knew their story was just one of many. Together, humans and Xerans would write new chapters of friendship, discovery, and hope. And so, the first hands-on research of human male biology became more than a study. It became a symbol that even across the vastness of space, connection was possible.